Gemini, and a very warm welcome to your 2018 forecast. So the big news was that at the end of last year, Saturn went into Capricorn, sign of its rulership, here in your 8th house, resonating along with Pluto, where it's going to stay for the next 3 years, pretty much. So what this means is, it's going to be an opportunity for you, Gemini, to go deep into something, to go deeply. Sometimes Geminis, you just like to scoot here and scoot there and a bit of this and a bit of that. Yes, you need variety. That's incredibly important to the Gemini personality. But what Saturn and Pluto are really drawing you towards, especially this year, is to resolve all the deep things, the deep issues, the things that have kept you feeling alone, feeling isolated, feeling separate, feeling victimized. To really cleanse yourself, however it might take, whatever it might take. Counselling, past life regression, writing it out, dancing it out. There are many, many ways, but to be prepared to release the pains of the past, to release all those things that have held you in a limited space, and for you to be able to see that anything is possible for you, anything. To bring back the lightness of Gemini energy, and that's what this is encouraging you to do. So I'm going to go through important dates this year. At the end of the video, there's going to be a list of those important dates that you can refer to if you'd like to. So the year starts out January the 31st with a lunar eclipse happening in Leo, happening for you in your 3rd house, Geminis. And then on February the 15th, we've got, lunar eclipse in Leo, and then February the 15th, solar eclipse happening in your 9th house. So there's going to be a tremendous focus during this year on the 3rd and 9th houses for you, Gemini. So what does this mean? Well, the 3rd and 9th houses have everything to do with learning, with studying, with communications. So maybe this is a year when you're going to study something new, or teach something new, or adapt something that you're already working with into a new framework. It's an opportunity here with the lunar eclipse happening in the 3rd house to rewire your thinking processes. And then the solar eclipse to rewire your beliefs. Yes, time to look at what you believe and where you've restricted yourself again. Because Gemini, you're a really free sign. You're one of the dual signs. Yeah, the dual signs, yeah, they're always like, oh, I'm not sure this, not yet. Yes, there's a lot of procrastination often goes on with Geminis and feeling as though they're not focusing enough. Well, this is an opportunity with these eclipses for you to focus on releasing those negative patterns, the patterning. Geminis, you're good with patterns, you're good with numbers, many of you. It's about releasing that spiral that you've been on, and an opportunity for you to make new friends, create a new community of people around you, to deepen your spiritual journey. So much wonderful can come from this, and also some physical travelling. For those of you who'd like to do it, the solar eclipse here could certainly trigger that for you. One of the big changes this year is Uranus changing sign, going into Taurus on May 16th. Going to stay there for several years, and so moving here into your 12th house, Gemini. And always when a planet, a big outer planet like Uranus, changes sign, it's really important. We can expect to have external changes in our world, and I'm anticipating that certainly during middle of 2017 onwards, 2018 onwards, with this ingress of Uranus into Taurus. I've done videos about that too. And for you, Gemini, in the 12th house, if ever there was a spiritual awakening, an opportunity to awaken from your sleep, to listen to your dreams. What are they saying to you? To ask for information in your dreams. It's an awakening on the deepest of levels for you, Geminis. It's going to be important to find alone time, quiet time, to really integrate a lot of these electrical, magnetic changes that are likely to be taking place within you. So you can resist them and carry on doggedly in your old way, or you can open up to something different, a new vibrational energy. I think many of you have seen a big shift in me. It's only been from a willingness to open up to something different, something new, that's often uncomfortable. Yes, we get used to a certain shoe. When the shoe fits, after a long while, oh, those shoes are so comfy. And at the beginning, sometimes a new pair of shoes, yeah, it's kind of just pinching bits. And sometimes you may feel a little pinched, but go with this wonderful opportunity for this deep internal awakening that you've been calling for a very long time. So that's the good news, really, of this Uranus into your 12th house. It can be tremendously powerful in igniting all your chakras, getting everything into an alignment here in a way that you've not had before. So it's exciting. And then we've got Mars going retrograde from June 26th until August the 27th. Mars retro here in your 9th house. And Mars retro in the 9th is a wonderful opportunity maybe to revisit a place that you loved when you were younger, maybe, to go back and to feel it out. It's also an opportunity to revisit some studies that you may be studying. Maybe you started something, didn't finish it, lovely Geminis. Opportunity to finish something up. Maybe you've had a book on the go. During the retrograde, you might well finish it up. On July the 12th, we've got a solar eclipse happening here in Cancer in your 2nd house. And so this is a wonderful opportunity for some new beginnings for your finances, some new possibilities. Maybe there are some risks that you could take. Step out a little bit more in your wonderful creativity. Be willing to share a little bit more of yourself than maybe you have done so far. And boy, the riches could start to pour on in. You're rewiring yourself here, and as you rewire your beliefs, especially around money and abundance, that solar eclipse could trigger some real goodies for you. And it could also trigger some wonderful aspects to do with you finding more talents in yourself, awakening more talents. We're all multidimensional. We've all got so much more than meets the eye, as many of you know. This is what's being awakened here as you awaken to more of your talents, your abilities. We're taught to believe that, we only have maybe one or two and we've got to focus on something. Well, Geminis, for sure you've got many, many gifts. Solar eclipse wants you to explore them more and take some risks. July 27th, we've got a lunar eclipse happening in Aquarius, up here in the 9th. And again on August 11th, a solar eclipse happening in Leo. So these eclipses, they're interchanging here. So whatever you start in January, end of January, February, you might have another wave of energy coming in July and August. And again, an opportunity to deepen your spiritual practice, to maybe go on a retreat, to run a retreat, to look at healing from many different angles. But it's mainly for you going to be about healing the mind, the mental processes. You'll have a wonderful opportunity to really work with that and to make tremendous progress with that during this year, Gemini. Now, October the 5th to November 17th, we've got Venus going retrograde. A lot of retrograde activity here, initially happening in your 6th and then moving back into your 5th house. So, Venus retrograde is all about reassessing your attitude, your relationship to your finances, and also reassessing your relationship to your work and your enjoyment about your work. Are you enjoying your work? And if not, what can you do to change that? Because if you're not enjoying your work, you know what? Everybody else feels that. You put out a poisonous vibration, whether you like it or not. You're doing that if you're not coming from a joyful place. You know what it's like. When somebody greets you with joy, don't you feel like you want to smile? When somebody greets you with like, oh, I'm having a terrible, terrible time. Doesn't make you feel wonderful, does it? It's not to say that there aren't things that happen and that we don't feel them, but sometimes there's a holding on to these energies, and it's about the releasing of these energies and looking at ways, if you don't enjoy your work, how can I enjoy my work? What can I do to change that? How can I bring more romance into my life? More spark, more inspiration. That's what's being called from you with this Venus retrograde. And finally, November the 8th, we've got Jupiter going into Sagittarius, into your 7th house of relationships, where it will stay for about a year, Geminis. This is all about expansion in your relationships. Can bring a marriage, can bring new partners, new possibilities, new options, but also a wonderful time for learning, for seeing your relationships as teachers. Those uncomfortable things that people do, say to that person, gosh, you're a real teacher for me. What can I learn from this? That's what Jupiter wants you to do, grow into something. So it's a spiritual growth, an opportunity for soul relationships. It's a wonderful placement for you, Geminis. So there's your year. I've done a special about retrogrades, a little intro video, but also for those of you interested who want to purchase, it's 3 videos over 45 minutes long, all about Mercury retro, Venus retro, Mars retro, and how you can deal with those energies if you've got it in the natal chart, or you know somebody who's got them in the natal chart. The do's, the don'ts, and also I go right round the houses so that this will be a resource that you can use time and again. Because each year we get Mercury retrograde at least 3 times, Venus, Mars, every 18 months, every couple of years. So it's important to work with these energies. You might want to come for a personal reading or a channeling. And I just want to really thank you for listening to my videos, for your feedback, for commenting, sharing, subscribing. I feel so as though you're so generous with me. And I'm so grateful, and I hope you feel that. So I wish you a wonderful 2018. Bye for now.